What's good, everybody? It's your boy Rusty Sama, aka Cowboy J, whatever you want to address me as. I'm here with a video for my prediction on who will win the NBA Finals between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Miami Heat. Now, I must admit, I was one of the naysayers at one point about this entire bubble idea. No fans and just playing basketball in like an open gym kind of makes you feel like it's just a glorified pickup game, right? Well, we're all wrong about that. After actually watching these games, these players are actually competing, and outside of sketchy refereeing, as well as maybe some questionable coaching decisions and player decisions, it's been a pretty interesting bubble to say the least. The fact that we even have the Miami Heat in the finals when most people consider them either the dark horse or a first round out, they've actually surprised a lot of people. Probably not Heat fans. Shout out to you, Heat fans. You guys have one of the best run organizations that I've seen outside of San Antonio. And I know San Antonio may have been lucky to get Tim Duncan, but they've done pretty well as far as their front office, honestly. But what Miami's done is instilled that culture, a winning culture, which is important if you're going to want to sign free agents as well as have players that are going to buy into your system. Then on the other hand, we have the Lakers. Their way of doing things are a little bit different. I know they are a hot destination for free agents. At least that's what they would say, because being in Los Angeles, you would think that. But before LeBron got there, it really was not that easy to get free agents to want to play with Kobe at the time. But lo and behold, here we are. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and some would say a band of misfits. But these misfits really are not misfits at all, if you really want to be honest. I mean, Dwight Howard, we all know his accolades. We know his resume. Rondo, we all know his as well. Kuzma, he still has room to grow and he's still young, sort of, but he can definitely still improve. Caruso, fan favorite of, at least to me. I love Caruso. I will give credit where credit is due. But the rest of this team is really not bad. And honestly, can anyone really be surprised they made as far as they did? I'll even go out on a limb and say, even if the Clippers made it, the Lakers would have still beat them. But enough about foes that are no longer in the playoffs. Let's talk more about the journey for both these teams to get here. Now, Miami won their first round series against the Indiana Pacers in a sweep. Now, this was one of those deceptive sweeps, at least in my eyes, because yes, some of those games were pretty close, some of them weren't. But for the most part, it was damn sure competitive. But the Heat just had a lot more depth, and not only that, had a much better game plan. And of course, Spoelstra being the coach that he is, coach circles around poor Nate McMillan and his shorthanded squad. I mean, I won't say they're that shorthanded because they were only missing Sabonis, but that is one big missing piece. Can we all agree with that at least? I'm almost certain if Sabonis played all four of the games, there might have been a chance maybe they could have stole one of those games. I say maybe because I still feel at the end of the day the Heat were going to win that series. And the Milwaukee Bucks, what they did to them, ooh, I just gotta say these one man teams. Can people just stop trying with this already? Giannis is a great player, but he is definitely, in my opinion, not a best player in the world candidate after how he performed in the playoffs the last two seasons. No, I'm not saying he does not deserve to be MVP because that is so false on so many levels. But we have to keep it 100. This man still has flaws in his game, glaring flaws that, as you can see, can be easily exploited, and that's going to hold that team back from winning championships. It's not just Giannis's help. Yes, they do need to step it up, but it's not just all on them. Giannis still has to find a way to be that guy. And so far, I mean, when it matters most, he hasn't really done what he's supposed to. But no excuses. The Heat executed their game plan. Even throughout the regular season, the Heat basically controlled that series against the Bucks in the season. And usually, you would a lot of teams flip the script come playoff time. Unfortunately for the Bucks, they couldn't flip such script. The Miami Heat had the game plan ready. Budenholzer couldn't adjust to what Spoelstra was packing. Spoelstra, why does this man not have more Coach of the Year awards? Why doesn't he? But I guess we'll probably see the fruits of those labors in the next coming seasons. But I got to admit, Jimmy Butler's play throughout this entire playoff series has been pretty good. But not even that. Bam Adebayo is having his coming out party in this playoffs. He damn sure earned his All-Star nod. Just not only for the season, but what he's doing in the playoffs. And the whole world now knows who Tyler Hero is. And yeah, you can make many puns about his last name all you want. He can be Miami's hero, whatever, blah. But the guy's only 20. He's going to get better, and he definitely has confidence. And that's the one thing that a young, good player needs. Confidence. Yes, they also have Jay Crowder, scrappy player who can definitely play his role as spot-up shooter. And Iguodala, a three-time champion, and of course a Finals MVP, and one of LeBron's nemesis, so to speak. And it's no coincidence that, of course, Iggy is on a championship team, and this Heat team was perfect. Hell, just like this team was perfect for Jimmy Butler, he definitely made the right choice during the offseason. Oh, and I definitely cannot forget about Goran Dragic. How he's been playing throughout this playoff run, he's definitely one of those good veteran players that they might want to keep around. And for good reason, because any team would love to have a player like Dragic coming off their bench, or maybe even starting for them. And then we get to the conference finals, where the Heat blast the Celtics in 6 games. The Celtics were the favorites. Of course, the East Boogeyman has to be the favorite. Not this year, apparently. The Heat definitely stifled what the Celtics wanted to do with that zone defense, and I just find it very baffling that the coach and Brad Stevens, that everyone is touted and hyped up. Yes, he's a great coach, but my lord, why did you have to get exposed like that? Why? And I understand Gordon Hayward is going through injuries, and he had probably other things on his mind, like the birth of his child. That's understandable, but he has to do better. And I feel like he's gonna end up being traded. And Kemba, oh man. I'm a fan of his, and it hurts me to see how he underperformed gradually as the playoffs went on. Now, as far as Tatum goes, yes, he's going to be a great player, but this series he totally got outplayed by his counterpart in his draft class and Bam Adebayo, and that block. Kudos. That highlight is going to definitely be one of the best highlights of this postseason. For sure. That was great. And I just can't say enough how great this run has been for Miami. They have proved everybody wrong. Jimmy Butler for sure is validated for almost everything he has gone through. This man deserves a lot more praise for basically galvanizing this team to an NBA Finals run. But now we're on to the west side. The Los Angeles Lakers' first round opponent was the Portland Trailblazers' Damian Lillard. Now, spoiler alert, Damian Lillard coming into this series was on a tear to get this team into the playoffs, to the point where he almost looked damn near scary. a lot of people were almost saying the Portland Blazers were gonna get the sweep, or at least win in five. Well, unfortunately, they were wrong. Yes, game one, Dame had his feel good moment, his little dancing, hitting his shots from the parking lot. But of course, the Lakers were able to make the adjustments needed, and of course, the Blazers could not fight back. And it became glaringly obvious, even in Game 3, that there was no way possible that the Blazers were going to win the series. But alas, it was, of course, the Lakers in 5. And then we have the Houston Rockets, fresh off of barely beating an Oklahoma City team that wasn't even projected to make the playoffs. What? You mean to tell me that people really thought that small ball crap was going to work? Now I can understand people being a little. I can understand the reason why people were afraid of the Houston Rockets because they figured that small ball thing would somewhat work because of all the shooting and everything like that and blah blah blah. Until you realize they still have to play defense on the other end. And Anthony Davis, after getting embarrassed by PJ Tucker in that game one, proceeded to make the Houston Rockets their bitch. Russell Westbrook looked like a guy who couldn't hit the side of a barn. And James Harden was basically being affected by those double teams. And, well, when you live by the three, you die by the three, especially if they aren't going down. And unfortunately for the Houston Rockets, they did not have a backup plan when those shots were not falling, which was laid bare in all 5 of those games. And then the Western Conference Finals, not, wait a minute, it's not the Clippers? Wait, you mean to tell me how? This Denver Nuggets team was down 3-1 to Utah at one point. And if not for Jamal Murray having that game of his life, this team would be at home right now. But yet they find themselves down 3-1 to a Clippers team that we're supposed to be facing in the conference finals. Keyword, supposed to. They proceeded to blow said 3-1 lead. Oh, Lord. Just move this team to another city at this point. So, of course, the Nuggets, being the Nuggets, they're a good team. But going down 3-1 to this Lakers team was definitely not in their best interest. And yes, fans can make up the memes or whatever as things go along, but you have to understand, if this Nuggets team was as great as everyone claims them to be, how in the hell did they get down 3-1 in 3 straight series to begin with? I'm going to give them respect for being able to have the mental fortitude to come back from 2 3-1 leads. And not only that, do it to the point where you embarrassed the Clippers. But I mean, Jokic didn't look anywhere near as dominant as he did in the other series against the Lakers. But that's to be expected when you have to deal with Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis and to some extent JaVale McGee. But even when JaVale was out there, he definitely could not hang with Jokic. That was obvious. But Jamal Murray was still able to get his, but the rest of that team couldn't get it going. I don't know what happened to Gary Harris. And outside of that game 3 that Jeremy Grant played really well, he was average. And MPJ was the one bright spot for that team. And he still has a lot of room to grow himself. This team has a future, but the Los Angeles Lakers have now, unfortunately. LeBron did what he did best. AD with the Kobe shot in game 2. I mean, what else could you ask for? This is what Lakers fans wanted to see. This is what I needed to see. It's been 10 years since this team made the finals, and it's very, very great to see. Now, as far as predictions go, I am going to say Lakers in 6. Now, I know during the regular season, the Lakers won both matchups against the Miami Heat. But that was in 2019. This Heat team has had time to gel and get better. And the way they're playing, there's no way they get swept or lose in 5. There's no way. A team led by Jimmy Butler At this point in the finals, with all that experience and talent, there's no way that happens. It's 6 or 7. And if it goes to 7, it's a toss up at that point. But my original prediction, Lakers in 6. I thank you all for watching this video. It's one of the first ones I've ever done. And I hope to get better, hopefully get better equipment as time goes on, and continue to make these because I love the NBA. I love basketball. I love the fact that there's something to watch now during this terrible, terrible year. When we get into that, leave a like, comment, whatever you like to do. Thank you for the watch, and you all have a wonderful day and enjoy this NBA Finals.